All right. So I'm making this video. First off, some of you guys are like, "Oh, this is not the confessions video." I know. I have it actually already done and everything. It just needs to be edited. That's literally it. Once that gets edited, it can get out to you guys. But until then, you guys aren't getting it. But it's completely done and everything. So don't worry. Hopefully, you guys should get it this week. But I wanted to make this video strictly because mainly this is going to be another part of like different content that I'm going to be doing. But this isn't even really necessarily I want to consider it content. I necessarily want to talk about this channel going forward and what's going to be happening. Okay? I really want to because it is important that I talk about this because this is something that has been really eating at me. Okay? I guess that's the best way to put it. So, most of you guys that watch me or that did start watching me, that have seen me, found me out and started watching me through Daybreak. Mainly because aside from loading, I was the only popular that I can think of off the top of my head. I was the only popular black content creator that was doing Daybreak content that was popular. Okay, for content for Daybreak sense type of popular. Um, but I some of you guys did for that. Others because you found me funny. Whatever reason it is, a lot of you guys joined, and that was kind of the whole point of my channel. Is I want to build a community, and I know that with this Daybreak content, I'm not gonna be able to build it the way I want to. For any of you guys who don't know, didn't see my Q&A, I'm pretty sure on the Q&A I was asked a question. It was, why did I start doing this in the first place? And I started doing this in the first place because I wanted to build a community. That's the whole reason that I wanted to do this. And then when you look at how some of my uploading schedule has been, you'll be like, how do you expect to build and make a community when you barely upload a lot? Yes. And when I truly thought about it and came down to it, I'm not enjoying Daybreak as much as I used to. Now, let me get this said before you guys get to conclusions. No, I'm not going to stop Daybreak content. I'll get more into that in a second, but I'm not going to stop Daybreak content, okay? But what I am saying is that it's going to slow down, okay? And I'm going to explain why. First, again, let me talk about the whole reason that I even wanted to build this channel, and then we'll get into the Daybreak situation. And we got two other things to cover after that. I don't want to spend too long on it because I know how long I can get. I know how I can be. Can make really long videos, and I'm not planning on editing this. So I also am hoping that I don't make as many mistakes because if you don't know, I do these scriptless. Like I have no script when I do these. I go in and free do these. These are all freestyles. So literally everything. My rants were freestyles. Literally everything. But I'm already going on a tangent. But the whole point of me to make this channel was because I want to build a community of everybody. Like literally whole different things. Like for anybody and everybody to join almost. Almost anybody and everybody. There's obviously specific groups or specific people I wouldn't want to be a part of the community for obvious reasons. But the whole point is I wanted to build a community, whether that came from anybody from any backgrounds. Like literally don't care. I want a very diverse community. I want a whole bunch of different cultures, whatever you want to say. I do. I want those inside of my community. I love the fact that there's a lot of black people in my community. But I also want I mean, look, we got Asians here and there. I want more. We got some trans people in there. I want more. We have non-binaries in there. I want more. I want my community to like even furries. I don't care. I want my community to be as diverse as it can be. And I'm not saying it's not as diverse now, but what I'm truly saying is that it could be bigger than it is now, and it's my fault that it's not. I never uploaded enough. I didn't do all that stuff, and I can't expect to be where I'm going. Like, genuinely, I don't care. Like, the money was never a thing about it. Like, at the end of the day, like, I wasn't doing this like, oh, I could be a content creator and make a whole bunch of money. I want to be a content creator to make videos that people enjoy, and I also want to build a community. That's literally the whole point. The money is whatever. It just comes along with it. But at the end of the day, the money isn't the passion. It's the want to make these videos. It's the want to do this for everybody. It's the want to be better, do better, get better. You know? That's the whole point of this. And to do this, I can't have Daybreak be in it anymore as often anymore. I just can't. I have to stray away. I have to do other things. I need to advertise myself more. I need to do these things if I expect and want the dream that I'm so wishing for. Because fairy tales can come true. You just have to make them happen. And I can't sit back and expect overnight to just be extremely popular like that. Or not extremely popular. That's not what I'm trying to say. I don't necessarily care. Like, I could never reach 100K in my entire lifetime, and I wouldn't give a hell. I just want to be bigger than 1,000, 2,000. You know what I'm saying? I want to be bigger than that. I know I can be bigger than that. I just have to work for it. So, when I was looking really at it and was like, man, why am I not uploading? Is it really because I'm procrastinating? And it slightly was kind of that, and other games that I've been playing too would take over. But that's when I started to realize that Daybreak just isn't going to cut it for a couple reasons. One, I can't expect to build a community off of one game like that, especially Daybreak, a game that doesn't want to go anywhere. And I'll get into that in a sec. But I can't expect to do that for Daybreak. And I knew this, and yet I still let it happen somehow. And I don't understand how. Because that's another problem. I want people to watch me for the content or whatever, not because I do Daybreak. I don't want to just only be known for Daybreak. And right now, that's kind of what I'm only known for. Not known for anything else. Because why? That's my fault. I haven't strayed out to other things. And I can do nothing but blame myself for that. And it's true. I can only blame myself for that reason. So, truly, I have to stray away and do other things. Now, let me talk. I felt like I probably repeated myself a couple times. Yeah, whatever. But let's talk about Daybreak, because it's the next thing that needs to be talked about. And Daybreak, couple reasons why I can't. One, I can't record on one game, or else I'll only be known for that one game, only build off of that one game. And I'm not saying you can't have a diverse community off only building off of one game, but Daybreak isn't the only game I enjoy. On top, well, at least did enjoy, and I'll get to that part here in a few. But it's not the only game that exists in my life, or not the only thing in my life that exists, or the only thing that I do in my entire life. And with how things have been going, I can't expect to go somewhere with a game that doesn't want to get better. The devs don't care. And as much as you guys can say, the devs do care. And yada yada and blah, blah, blah. I'm not calling them, I'm not saying like as if they don't care, but they've stated several times themselves they don't want the game to go anywhere. They don't care. They just don't. And it's true. You can't deny that factor. They don't want the game to get bigger. They don't want it to bring in more popularity. They don't care. They, like, 90% of the time, barely acknowledge the other content creators. Like, I'm not saying they need to put us on a silver platter and serve us skins and everything. I'm not saying that. But at least treat us with some respect, or acknowledge the fact that we still did do things for your game. But they don't care, because why? They don't want the publicity. They don't want to go anywhere. They don't want anything for their game. So there's no point in trying to record and continue to do content for a game when the devs don't want to do anything with it. I can't expect to get bigger off a game that doesn't want to go anywhere. It's not expected to go anywhere. And anytime it gets any bit of publicity or any form of new people, the community throws them away. They literally shy them away, and then they are never to be seen again. And then they just push on and say, "Oh yeah, don't play that game. It's full of a terrible community." I can't expect to be on a game that struggles to average 1,000K people. I'm not talking about, this isn't even about how long updates take. It's really not. Because again, I understand the devs have lives. We all have a life. And so I understand they got things that they got to do outside of their life. This game doesn't make them enough money to make them sit down and be able to make a living off of it. I mean, it could if they actually put a lot more effort into it, publicity, trying to advertise, all these things. If they did a lot more things that they could do but are not doing, then, I mean, hey, the game could be a bit bigger. But the community has put so much, the community has made a stamp of itself inside of the Roblox community that I think it's too late for the game. And devs honestly know that, and they just prefer for it to be smaller because it's already broken beyond repair because they struggled to fix the problems when they started. There's a reason that right now it is where it's at and stuck in the mode that it's in. Because the devs didn't care enough at the start, and they clearly don't want the game to do anything. Just because they work on it doesn't mean they don't care. And I hope some people know that. Truly. But I love the game at the end of the day. I do. The game is a good game. Like, as much as it has its critiques that need to be fixed 24/7, whether that be a bug that happens every update, map changes causing new infinite loops every time it happens, whatever. But at the end of the day, it still is a game that I enjoyed. But I find myself not being able to play the game by myself anymore. I used to be able to sit down for 5 hours and just play this game because I loved it so much. But now I can only ever play this game when I'm playing with friends. Like, I can't see myself sitting down playing this by myself anymore. I just can't do that. And to me, that means most of its fun has been stripped away from me. And it is. Now, some people can be, I'm not saying you need to be able to play by yourself for a game to be fun. That's not true. But if I was capable of playing the game by myself and it being fun, and now that no longer is there anymore, and something like that was just stripped away from me, and I can't view that same, something went wrong. Something inside of it just doesn't feel right. And I know I'm not the only one that thinks this, and I know I'm not the only one that's going through this. But I know for sure I am the main one, and probably not the last one who's going to make a statement about it at all. I'll just be the first. But at the end of the day, I can't hate the game because it got me to so far where I'm at. Now I need to capitalize off of it and do better. This game has still done stuff like be a part of my channel, got me to meet new people. It has done shit for me, and I'm not going to push that aside and act like this game hasn't done stuff for me and helped me in my life. Yes, the community's terrible, but if you find the right people, there are good people inside of it. You just have to find them. You can't expect them to just come running to you on a silver platter and think that, oh, they're just going to be here like, hey, I'm actually one of the few good ones. You know, you just can't expect to see that. You just don't. I mean, like, the community itself got its own problem. Again, like, literally a while ago, I literally experienced racism inside of it. Like, the community needs work, but it's too late to fix it. It's broken beyond repair. And I don't know why I keep saying the community needs work. Like it's going to change. Like anything's going to fix. Like it's to a point to where you can't even make a suggestion without being jumped 24/7. Why is that? Why are we constantly doing this unnecessary shit? Why can't we just have an opinion and we move on? I don't get it. But moving past Daybreak, because I've said about all I can say for it. Moving past it, I want to talk about what this channel has done for me. Because believe it or not, this channel has done a lot for me. And I want a lot of you guys to know and understand how much it has. When I made this channel, I was in my ending half of my junior year in high school. By that time, I had possibly drained most, if not all, of my mental state. I, like, literally since middle school, my mental health has been terrible. But I would never acknowledge it or never realize it. Like, I know now that it started in middle school, but I didn't acknowledge it until my junior year. So throughout that entire time of my life, my mental state was constantly depleting, and it did nothing but just get faster and faster the more and more I just dismoved it. And when I fully acknowledged it was my junior year, when I started to feel the actual impacts of it, was probably my sophomore year. Maybe even my freshman was when I acknowledged it, but I didn't know what was wrong. Constantly people would tell me like, oh, I'm good, or I'm a cool person, I'm this, I'm that, the third, I'm all these things. Yet I would continue to push it away and say that this isn't true. That's not me. I'm nothing but a fraud. Bro, I had my imposter syndrome had been so bad. Okay, for anybody who doesn't know what imposter syndrome is, for the easiest way to put this, just to summarize it, I could get a compliment about my acting skills and then be like, in my mind and in myself, constantly telling myself or pushing away any compliment. But in my mind, I would sit there and be like, this isn't true. And like, what if the truth does come out? What if I really am not good and everybody just views me as nothing but a fraud? And that's all it is. I would get compliments all the time on a lot of things. Like even my talking skills. You guys don't understand that I have never talked like this before, even in a video. I have never sat down and genuinely put my heart and soul into it because it was nothing but a video. Why would I need to use these talking skills for a video? Well, I should, and I should have been. Why not? They were just for fun anyways, so don't be serious. But now it's time that I get serious with you guys, and I just tell you that until I made this channel, I didn't realize that I was the problem. I was the detriment to my own success. I barely even passed my junior year. I barely passed my junior year. I literally went my whole life thinking I'm never going to be anything. I'm not going to have a life because I suck at everything. School in itself, all of that. I would always compare myself too. That would be another problem. I would see other people and say, why can't I just be like that? I don't have these standards I would put for myself were so unachievable for me because that was not who I was. And I wouldn't acknowledge that. I really wouldn't. And I would put myself in these positions where I am now feeling more depressed and more depressed as it went on. Like, literally, as my year kept going, I kept getting worse and worse. And anytime somebody would ask me, anytime I would have a mental breakdown and somebody would ask me what the problem is, I wouldn't know. I wouldn't even know what my problem was. Genuinely. It would always be something else other than the actual problem. Or when I even finally found out what the problem was, I struggled to even tell anyone what my problem was. I was so busy trying to fake myself, be happy when I really wasn't happy, and that wasn't who I was. I spent my whole life uplifting other people, but yet I hate mine. It doesn't make sense. So, when I made this channel, really, when I made this channel and I finally started seeing all these compliments everybody was giving me, it got to a point to where I realized in myself that I was the problem, and I cannot deny this. These people are giving me compliments. They are praising me. They are telling me what's good, some things I can improve on. They gave me all of this, and it got to the point to where I realized it probably is true. All of these people are saying this. Why am I telling myself that I'm not this? It's not true. These people truly believe I was funny, truly believe that I was good at what I did, truly believe that I was a great speaker. They loved hearing me talk. Literally, in way back, like in some of my like earlier streams, I literally was putting on music because I was like, yeah, it's whole quiet and all that stuff. Someone literally said, no, don't put on music. I really like just listening to you talk. Creating this channel has allowed me to see the good in myself and made me realize that I was doing nothing but hurting myself. And all it took was for me to just realize that. Literally, I have made so many friends off of this. Granted, they're online friends, but I never had online friends. I didn't. I never had online friends. Only in-person friends. And I didn't like that. I wanted online friends too. People that I can talk to online, do other things with online. I wanted people like that. And the fact that after I made this, I got to meet so many nice people. Nice as not as in like best person ever, but outstanding people. People that I care about is what I'm trying to say. People that I actually genuinely care about. Okay? Whether I know them in person or not doesn't change anything. It doesn't stop the fact that I do care about these people. Ancient, Milk, No Words, Persistence, Eyes, Loading, Prekeeper. All these people, Ted, Neo, Grandma, Cole, all of you guys, Mike, you guys, getting to meet you and talk to people like this and be around people like this has made me feel so good about myself. Made me happy for once in my life instead of faking it and just being a lie. Truly, thank you. And I mean this. Truly. I hate to get all emotional and whatever, but I want you guys to know how much you guys really do mean to me. Whether I know you in person or not, it's not changing the fact that I still care about each and every one of you and would be one of the first to the front line to defend you in most things that you would have done. Be there to support you in something you would choose to do, because you were there to support me in a time that I was at my worst and you didn't even know. I love you guys. I do. With every part of my heart. I truly do. Now, some of y'all are gonna be like, oh, this is corny. Or some of y'all probably don't even care about me the same way. And that's okay. It's not like I'm expecting you to say anything back or any of that stuff. But I do want you guys to know, I hope if you guys have even made it this far and chose to listen to everything I fucking said, I care about you. And if you are hearing this, I'm glad you got to hear this. At least I'm glad you made it this far. You were able to tolerate me just talking and not editing or nothing for this long. Truly. But let's move past this emotional stuff and let me talk about the better things. I'm going to be changing this channel up a lot. There's going to be different content. I'm going to start doing more reactions. If there's specific things you want me to react to, start sending them to me. I'm going to be doing more gaming related content too. Mainly, probably try and get some horror games in there because you guys, I'm a pussy. Okay, I'm so fucking scary. I have never been able to play one by myself, so we can try and change that. All right, we're gonna change that. Next thing, I'm going to start making videos where I sit down and just talk about something that I'm passionate about, want to learn about, care about, or just something I find interesting. Anything. I'm just going to start making videos that just is me just talking. Just going to talk. Whether people watch it or not, I'm still going to make a video about it, and I'm still going to talk, and I'm still going to just do it. I don't care. Now, next things, I'm going to try and live stream at least once every weekend. Now, this weekend don't count. So if I don't stream this weekend, don't say nothing. But this weekend don't count. But the streams are gonna be of just any game. Genuine, literally any game. All right. So I don't want to hear nothing. Now, I might sometimes be like, hey, you guys want to see this, or this. I'll give you like a whole bunch of options or something, and you guys can pick from there in the Discord server. Join it below if you haven't. But I'm sure that most of the people watching this are all from the Discord anyways. But regardless, join it. Join it. So yeah, I'll just maybe give y'all options from inside of there. Maybe I'll stray out to YouTube because I guess I gotta apply to some of y'all. Then now, next thing is content. I'm going to try and within 2 weeks, try and give you at least one video. What of anything. It's not going to be of a specific content. It's just going to be some video that I'm going to try and at least get out within 2 weeks. Now I'm not saying I'm only going to post one every 2 weeks or within every 2 weeks. I might post 3 within 2 weeks. I'd honestly be surprised if I'd be able to do that. But and what I'm saying is that you guys need to expect some that are happening pretty often. Just know that I could drop 5. Never probably gonna happen, but I could. I could. But for anybody who's made it this far, it's about to reach the 30-minute mark. Maybe I can just end this at exactly 30 minutes. So I guess I'll speed this up a little bit. For all of you guys that ended up watching this far, I love all of you. Any of the people sub to me, whatever, here for me, planning to stay with me for the long run and not because of Daybreak. I truly do care and hope you have a good rest of your day. And I love you. And for any of you guys that are listening to this or at least heard anything I said before, look out for yourself. Truly. Care about everything you do. Love yourself. And sometimes you might just be the problem to your own success. And you have to learn to acknowledge and fix it. Love you.